How to list over 80% of the listing appointments you go on. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today, because I am sick and tired of people saying, hey Chadi, I just went on a listing appointment and I got this objection, or I got that objection, or they said they want to think it over, or they said they're going to call me back the next day, and they never call me back, they ghost me, and they never ever get the listing. Here's what we know. 90+% of the time that you go on a listing appointment and you don't take the listing right there and then, your odds of taking that listing later on is going to be like literally less than 10%. So the question is, how do I do a presentation in a very effective way to get the sellers to immediately make a decision whether it's a yes or a no? We want it to be a yes, and we want it to be a yes 80+% of the times. So here's what I wrote down. I am going to walk you through the exact steps on what to do before a listing appointment that will land you 80+% of the listing appointments that you go on. So let's begin with point number one. And I put down a bunch of points right here, but the main important thing is not going to be your listing presentation. It's not going to be the listing presentation. It's not going to be your marketing plan of action. It's not going to be your ability to handle objections. It has nothing to do with your ability to be a closer and close on people and say, sign the contract, sign the contract, sign the contract. That's not what we are doing here. That's not what we are teaching you. We are teaching you how to position yourself in the most effective way, so when you do your presentation, it becomes the best presentation the seller has ever experienced, that will leave absolutely zero questions in their mind and get them to sign the contract. So I put down point number one, preparation is the key. So many people out there, so many of you guys watching this video, let me know if that's you. It's okay to admit it in the comments. We're here to help you out, okay? So many people, they set a listing appointment, and every time they set a listing appointment, it's as if it's something new to them. They just get overwhelmed with like, oh, I got to do a CMA. Oh, I need a cover letter. Oh, I need a folder. Oh, I need a pre-listing package. Oh, I need to pre-qualify. Oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. Preparation is the key. So step number one, what I want you to do is I want you to put together a pre-listing folder together. This is a folder that you will take with you on your listing presentation. Is everything that you need minus the CMA and the net sheet. Minus the CMA and the net sheet, but it has everything else that you need. So you are mentally prepared. See, now you're going into it with the mentality of like, yeah, I'm going to set an appointment. As a matter of fact, I'm going to set 10 this month, and here's 10 packages that are ready for my next 10 appointments, etc. So preparation is the key, but that's not exactly what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is preparing for the actual listing presentation, preparing for what's actually going to happen, what you're going to say, what you're going to do at the listing presentation is something that you prepare for. You don't just show up and you just start speaking and then seeing what's going to happen, because that's the case where most people end up doing a listing presentation thinking they've done all the right things, only to discover later on that the seller either wants to interview another agent, or they got a bunch of objections, or they want to think it over in their nice way of saying thank you but no thank you, is we need to think it over, we'll get back to you. So I put down the following: know everything about the seller before the appointment. Everything about the seller. The seller is going to be the one that's going to make a decision whether they are going to work with you or someone else. So the more that you know about the seller, the more able you are to have the right conversation, create the right emotion, share the right information to make it a no-brainer for them to decide. I know, common sense, know everything about the seller before the appointment. So I put down the following: what is important to them about selling? So many people don't even ask that question. They just say, where you want to move to? What's important to them about moving to the next location? What is important to them about selling this home? What is it that they are trying to accomplish? What is it that they are trying to resolve, etc.? So you need to ask this question: what is important to you about selling? But now you need to strategically learn how to ask more open-ended questions to take that a little bit deeper, to take it a little bit further than any other person that they are meeting with. Letting this conversation be more revolved around what is important to them than be more revolved around the marketing and the dollars and the cents and all that stuff. What is important to them? I put down the following question. What will happen when they sell? What will happen when they sell? Some people will be like, well, when I sell this home, I'd be able to move, closer to, my parents who are going to assist me with my children while I'm at work, etc. Or I'm going to be closer to family, or I'm going to be closer to work. I'll have less of a commute, giving me more time with my family, etc. What is important to them beneath the surface, beneath the obvious? And then I put down another follow-up question. What will happen if they can't sell? What will happen if they can't sell? No, I had somebody say to me, no, we need to sell. We need to move out of this area. I'm scared to send my children to school where they are being bullied every single day. And there's a lot of violence and a lot of drugs that they're being exposed to that I don't want them to be exposed to. So that right there is an extremely motivating conversation that will get people to take action immediately. See, what you're beginning to discover in watching this video thus far is that this is an uncommon listing presentation conversation. And what's uncommon in the real estate industry is to convert 80+% of the appointments that you go on. So in order for you to create uncommon results, you need to begin to learn how to have uncommon conversations. So what is important to you about selling? What will happen when you sell? What will happen if the property doesn't sell? And then here's another question that I'm willing to bet, and let me know in the comments if you do ask this question, that 90+% of the agents out there don't even ask. Mr. Mr. Seller, tell me specifically, what is it that you are looking for in a real estate professional like me? Why is that important? In their mind, they painted a picture of what they want to see, what they want to hear, what they want to feel, what they want to experience from the person that they choose to work with. Like, I'm looking for someone who is very good with marketing. I'm looking for someone who has a track record. I'm looking to work with someone that has a team. I'm looking to work with someone that has strong negotiation skills. I'm looking to work with someone that's got like 10 plus years of experience in real estate. What is it that they are looking for? Why do we want to know that before we go on the appointment? Because if they're telling me they're looking for, savvy online marketing methods, then guess what? That becomes my job to show them and share that with them on the listing presentation. If they're telling me they're looking for someone with a track record, then I'm going to show them how my track record is netting sellers more money and selling their properties faster than anyone else in the marketplace. See, that way, everything that they are looking for is exactly what showed up to the listing presentation, and this will eliminate the need for them to think anything over and or meet with another, or having to meet and interview another agent, and this will get you more listing signed. So the question again, what is it that you are looking for in a real estate professional like me? Then I put down 3 questions that you want to creatively ask in your own way, in your own words, and the 3 questions are, hey, when I come out this evening, or when we meet this evening, is there anything that you want to see that I need to bring with me to help you make a decision? I want to know, is there anything that they want to see? The next question is, what do you want to hear at the presentation? What is it that you want me to specifically discuss with you to help you make an accurate decision as to whether we are a fit to work with each other? And or, is there anything that you want to experience in terms of an emotion or a feeling to help you make that decision? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to discover is how they process the information. Do they process the information visually? Do they process it, auditorily? Do they process it kinesthetically? Do they need to see something, hear something, or feel something to make a decision? Because if I know that, then I can speak to that in a way that gets them to say, oh my God, like this guy really understands me better than anyone else out there. I want to work with this guy, and that will get you listing property 80+% of the time. So now, also, what processes do they use to make a decision? What is the process that they are using to make a decision? Here's what we know. If you would have asked all these questions that we talked about thus far, if you are actively listening to their responses, then they would have told you indirectly what is the process that they are making to make that decision. Here's what we know. All decisions are based on emotion. All decisions are based on emotion. So there's two universal, big emotions. There's one that feels good and one that doesn't. So are they making a decision to move away from pain, like the example I gave you earlier about the couple that wanted to move their children into a better, safer school district? Or are they moving towards pleasure, the pleasure of spending more time with family and having, less of a commute to be able to spend more time with the family, etc.? Okay, so the next point I put down is know everything about the home before the appointment. Know everything about the home before the appointment. Not just how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. Look, we want to know everything. We want to know updates. We want to ask them the question, hey, how would you rate your home on a scale of 1 to 10? Most people are not going to give it a 10. They're going to say like an 8 or a 9 or whatever. And then you can say, hey, what would make it a 10? What would make it a 10? Is there anything about your home that I need to find out that could positively or negatively impact the price that we use to get your property sold? Like, we want to know everything about the home before the appointment. We also want to know everything about the neighborhood before the appointment. You can do like a little quick, search, about the neighborhood of the home, and you can find out like anything and everything. Everything's available online. It's just a lot of people don't want to spend that extra 1 or 2 minutes. What school districts? How is traffic? How is the median wages in that marketplace? What is the crime rate like? What is the ease to the freeways, etc.? Like, what are the parks? What are the amenities, etc.? The more that we know about the neighborhood, the better we are going to appear as the expert when we show up. And that is going to display our confidence when speaking about us knowing the neighborhood. Is going to get them to feel comfortable that who we are is the person of authority that can market their property in the most effective way to sell it for top dollar and very quickly. And then I put down, next point, mentally prepare for the appointment. And what I'm talking about is on your drive to the appointment, which I want you to get to the appointment like literally 10-15 minutes early. I want you to, during the drive, listen to something positive, listen to something upbeat, talk to someone, role play with someone, certain scenarios that you're going to be talking about on the listing presentation. Park the car like literally, a couple of blocks away from the listing appointment. Sit down, close your eyes, take a deep breath, do a little visualization, see yourself, showing up to the house, see yourself, being greeted. They're very friendly. The home shows well. You guys are having a great conversation. You're asking questions. They're giving you answers. You guys are high-fiving each other. They're nodding in agreement with everything that you're doing. And then see them actually saying, agreeing on price, agreeing on commission, and then see them actually signing the contract, see them walking you out, and then see yourself walking into the car and then calling up all your homies and all your friends celebrating that you just took another listing. Let the sale take place in your mind before it does in the physical universe. Now, we're not talking about woo-woo magic stuff here or anything like that. What we're talking about is if you mentally rehearse and mentally prepare yourself for that, you are going to show up more confidently. You're going to show up more professionally. You're going to show up more powerful. You're going to show up more energetic. You're going to show up more focused. And when you speak, you are going to be speaking with extreme high levels of confidence, transferring the energy that they need to receive to know that who you are is the perfect person to list their home with. And then the final point I put down, show up, dress the part, speak the part, be the part. So we're not going to get into what to do on the listing presentation, because what we do on the listing presentation is irrelevant if we haven't done everything that we need to do prior to the listing presentation. Clearly, you're beginning to discover that this is the kind of video that you need to watch more than one time. I would highly suggest that you go back and watch it again and then transcribe all the points and turn that into your checklist for exactly what you need to do before every single appointment so you can list 80+% of your appointments. By the way, in the comments below, let me know how many listing appointments are you going on every single month and how many of those are you converting. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Take care.